Hello, my name is Jeffrey Lee, and I got inspired to begin living and trying to encourage others to live an authentic life after really and truly a near-death experience that took place a couple of years ago. And the situation really just, it brought out so many things in myself that I really didn't know was there. And it really caused some internal struggles. Basically, I was in a hospital. I had a ruptured appendix, and I was, for all basic purposes, I was on death's bed, and the doctors didn't really know if I was going to pull through. They didn't even know when I went into surgery what had happened. I was in excruciating pain. I was wheeled into the operating room about 1 in the morning. It was just my wife and I and our kids. She was, for all basic purposes, alone trying to deal with this situation. And I went through a situation where I felt abandoned by certain family members, and I began to point a finger of condemnation at them. And I felt that I was justified in how I felt because I felt like they weren't there for me. I felt like they just left me at my worst time. And when you feel that way, it's tough to really stop and reflect on anything internally because you're so busy feeling the pain that you're feeling and the betrayal that you might feel. And that all seems so very real. And all I can say is that over the several months of healing that I went through and trying to deal with not only healing physically, but I was fighting some things emotionally, mentally, spiritually, psychologically that just had me going in all sorts of directions. And all I can tell you is that during this process, while I was going through this, it's like pointing a finger, you know. All I can tell you is God told me and really impressed upon my heart and spirit that while I was pointing a finger of condemnation at everybody else, there was 3 pointing right back at me. And those 3 that were pointing back at me was grace, mercy, and forgiveness. And it was tough for me to deal with that because, again, I felt so justified in how I felt. And God let me know that He's given me grace, He's given me mercy, and He's forgiven me. And while I've got one pointing at other people, and while I felt so justified in how I felt, He let me know that that wasn't really His way, and how that was really hurting me and poisoning me and not them. And again, not that they deserved it, but it was really more about me having some self-reflection about who I was. And God, you know, long story short, I had not been truly an authentic person. I was a man of faith. I'm a Christian, and basically what I found myself doing was presenting an aspect of myself that I thought was palatable for the world to receive. I thought I wanted to present a Jeff that people would learn to like and love and accept. And as a result, I wasn't being authentic. It doesn't mean I had to be mean to somebody. I didn't mean I had to just be rude to people, so that as far as being truthful, but at the same time, I was presenting an aspect of who I was that I knew they would accept, that I knew that people would like. And as a result, I just wasn't being truly authentic with who I was. And so that started this journey of me not only understanding and taking a true account of my own feelings, my own thoughts, my own beliefs about so many aspects of who I was that I really had to just work on that so very much. And so through that journey, I've learned some things that I feel like would be very helpful for you and others. And so that's why we put this course together to help people really try to understand who they are, because if you can understand better about who you are, it will help you to understand the relationships that you're dealing with, the ones that are sometimes problematic. Maybe you feel like you go through bad relationship after another, one after another. You're always choosing the bad guy or the bad woman, the one that's not going to be faithful, the one that's not going to be true to you, and you wonder why you keep repeating the cycle, and sometimes there's something within that you need to stop and reflect upon so that you can build the type of relationships that you know really and truly matter. And when you learn that when people love and like you for who you are, and when they accept you for who you are, again, it doesn't mean there's not self-growth and some perseverance and some changes that we need to make. But when people love and like you for who you are, then those relationships are the ones that are built on solid ground, rather than a facade that we put forth for others that we think that they're going to like. So that's what really started me on this journey and helping me to understand about who I was. And that's what I believe will help you as we begin this journey. I'm looking forward to it.